again on my pretty much brand new bone stock SCX10 build. Axial deadbolt that I bought for a project that didn't happen. So, still trying to figure out what I want to do with this. I hated to tear it apart and steal all the bits off of it for another build. But I think I was at home from work the other night when I was sick, and I was bored on Amazon, and I found, I think, my plan. So, where did I put it? What I've got here is from S&T Racing. This is a SCX10 monster truck conversion kit. And that was $39, free shipping. We've got 2 aluminum plates, go to the outside of the rail, relocates everything lower, gets us the lift we need for the giant monster truck tires. Comes with a bunch of hardware and spacers and things. No instructions I haven't found yet. I haven't been on their site. But pretty sure we can figure it out. And I also picked up a set of 4, the Axial BKT monster truck tires from their Gravedigger trucks. As offer ready to run. I think those were 40 something, like 43 shipped for a set of 4. They are pre-glued to the factory plastic wheels. So not spending a whole lot on this. Still trying to keep this low buck, but I don't know yet if this is going to be a true monster truck build, or we're just going to make a mud truck out of it and have fun with it. I still haven't driven it. It is RTR. I haven't even put a battery to it yet. So, curious to see what all this entails. I know we're pretty much dropping the stock crossmember with the transmission and everything down about 1.5 inches, almost 2 inches. It relocates all of our suspension mounts down there as well. And I noticed some changes that have to be made to the shocks to get it up higher. I know I'm probably going to need a widener for the wheels. There's a 12mm hex on these big guys, so it will fit the axle, but these are just standard SCX10. They're not Wraith axles like the Axial monster trucks have a Wraith width axle to it. So I know I've got a couple of wheel spacers. I'm not sure if I have a set of 4. But try to keep it as low buck as possible. I know I'm probably in the future going to want to swap to metal links. I already really need a metal steering link because the plastic kit stuff is very, very weak. You see all that play in there. But I'm going to try to keep it as basic as possible. In this video, this is all I have is the chassis plates and the wheels and tires. So let's see what kind of look we get. So I'm going to get online and try to find some instructions for this. So I can't find any information online. I can't find any instructions. All I can find is some pictures. And none of the side plates look like mine. So these are slightly different. One has a staggered hole on the end. The other side is straight. I'm assuming I'm just going to put them this way. I think I figured out what everything else is for and how it's going to go. So I'm just going to start pulling things apart here and seeing what happens. I am going to cheat a little bit. I found my adapter here for my hardware, as I don't want to sit here and crank on all this by hand, so I'm going to use my drill and start pulling this thing apart in high speed, seeing how it goes. I hope those are facing the right way. I don't see that it really matters. It makes more sense to me that you'd want this side on the front so it doesn't hang on things. Maybe you can adjust the wheelbase out on the rear suspension. That's all I can figure. But all the pictures of this brand, like this packaging, had no brand name label, no instructions, nothing with it. So I don't know. Everything that this brand was supposed to be are equal on both sides. S&T Racing. So I don't know what I've got, but the hardware and stuff and the bracketry looks good. So I'm just going to roll with it and let's start putting it on. Guys, so that's where we're at. I guess it doesn't jive quite well because of all the plastic stock stuff. I need to adjust the pinion angles, but I can't because the hardware that it had really the screws were too long. I didn't have enough of the flush mount screws to use the other holes. The only ones it had were long. Came with spacers, which look like they're for the inside of those links, but it's hitting the drive shafts and all kinds of stuff in the way. So I need to move the upper mounts from their factory location up here and back to get the pinion angle set better. But that is causing problems with my front because it has that one piece upper link thing that pivots on the axle. So if I tilt the pinion angle up, that's going to cause the drive shaft to hit that upper link. So we're gonna have to upgrade. But we can get it rolling and start looking at what kind of stance we're gonna have and everything, and start seeing what else I'm gonna need. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna need wheel wideners because of these BKT wheels are so deep. But yeah, and I still come back. I was waiting. I was just doing the minimum amount of hardware as possible to see. I've got a couple spots here on the frame where I need to add some more. I just wanted to make sure I didn't run out of stuff because it has just a random mix of things, and it has a bunch of aluminum spacers, which I don't know where they go. And yeah, not real impressed with the kit, but I mean it's pretty self-explanatory. These SCX10s are pretty basic. The only issues I had was trying to run a fine thread into a plastic piece. Like some of the cross members up here by the shocks are plastic, so you're threading. It already had a coarse thread bolt in it, so then you're threading a fine thread, so it's not the most sturdy. We'll probably have to eventually start looking for aluminum upgrades for the stock components like the shock towers and the cross members and things like that. Links are definitely on the list. Steering's on the list. But I like the layout of it. It's good. We just got to get all the drive lines straightened out and start upgrading stuff. But I mean, otherwise it's does what it's supposed to do. We're lowering the center of the gravity. We're raising the body height and everything, and getting it ready to put bigger tires on. This could be a mud truck. This could be a monster truck. So I'm going to throw some more screws in there now that I'm kind of done with it, and we'll start looking at putting tires and wheels on. Alright guys, so here it is. Thing's pretty cool. Yeah, I doubt I can drive it with the plastic steering links, those tires. I can't even get the other side to turn all the way. It just bows and gives. It'll crack real fast. I threw some RC 4-wheel drive 12mm hexes on the back because they're a little bit wider, so I don't have any interference with the shocks, but it's still not as wide as the front. I ran I think they're Boom Racing 12mm spacers, 17mm widener, something like that. Like I mentioned before, I've got to upgrade the links, and that way I can adjust the pinion angles and straighten all that. But as far as it goes, this is still an RTR truck. Everything is still plugged in. I didn't disconnect anything. I didn't change the receiver. Still in the same spot. ESC's right where it was. I've still got my RC 4-wheel drive winch bumper on the front. It looks pretty badass, I ain't gonna lie. We'll start looking for a body for this thing now. I wanted to make a scale crawler with the JK body, and I have one. But of course it wouldn't clear because of the transmission sticking up in the middle, so I might see if what that looks like on here. We can dry fit a bunch of bodies, see what it looks like. If I do some hacking, cut the rear end off and chop some of the body out from underneath and get it down and make it fit right, but really you don't really see those as mud trucks or monster trucks or anything like that. It's kind of odd. It's a shame. That's a really nice hard body, and I'd like to use it on something eventually. The windshield fell out. Awesome. So let's see what we got next. I don't have a whole lot of spare bodies laying around, but maybe we can find something to look good on here. My old Mojave body kind of fits. Wheelbase is close. It sets down a little bit in the front. I took the body post off just to make room for that other body. I don't know. It's still, you don't see those as mud trucks very often. What else do I have? Let's see. This would require a little bit of trimming, but it could pass as a mud truck. I still haven't peeled the window mask off. I haven't decided how I'm gonna finish painting it. I painted it again with Lexan paint on the outside. It's covered in dust right now, so it's hard to get a good idea of it. But yeah, I don't have a bed or anything for that, so I don't know. Plus that doesn't look right at all with that Jeep bumper on front. But I can always take that off and sell it, because it just, I don't know, that doesn't fit a monster truck anyway. Oh, too small. I don't know. I would need a lot of trimming to fit it down on there. And again, that's not a real common monster truck or mud truck. Guys, I don't have a clue what I'm going to put on this thing yet. So be sure to let me know in the comments what kind of body you think. Should I go with a hard body? Should I just break down and do a Lexan monster truck body? What other recommendations do you have for links and stuff? Where can I get some good, cheap, stronger parts for the steering? Stuff like that. I don't have a lot of experience. I haven't built an SCX10 since they were brand new. And, you know, I'm not trying to break the bank or anything. I don't want to, you know, buy out half of Vanquish, spend $1 million on a bunch of stuff. But I need some more wheel wideners. I need aluminum links, preferably rods, aluminum steering setup, and we got to figure out a body, and then we can get this thing out and see how it does and see what kind of tweaking we can do on it. But anyways, appreciate you guys watching, and yeah, be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Follow along on Instagram, RC Everyday. You can find me on Facebook as Josh Dutton or RC Everyday, and see y'all in the next video.